What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are out there crushing it on the tables. Catching up on our session reviews, we are looking at a 4,800 hand session, over 9 hours at the table. That's crazy. But this is when we are trying to get in 22,000 VIP points for December. So we're putting in a lot of work here. We lost 147, but did wind up with a positive win rate. Let's jump right into the hands. First hand we're taking a look at is at the 100 NL table. We have pocket eights playing from the hijack seat. We get an open from under the gun to 3x. We just make a call here in position, deep stacked, over 200 big blinds, and runner Lucker has 180 big blinds in their effective stack. Small blind calls, big blind also calls. Let's see a four-way flop where we hit middle set on a fairly draw-heavy board. There's a couple straight draws as well as a flush draw out there. Flop goes check, check, bet. Runner Lucker bets 2/3 pot. We just call here, trying to get what look like kind of fishy stats over here to stay in the hand, but they do, however, fold. And the turn is the ace of spades. Now there's even more draws out there. Runner Lucker continues betting, still on 2/3 pot, and we put in a 3-bet here, make it $53 to go, about 3x Runner Lucker's bet here, and they do make a call. There's now 133 in the pot, setting us up perfect to get the rest of Runner Lucker's stack in on the river, especially when it's a brick like the 3 of clubs. Runner Lucker checks, we jam, and they do fold, most likely missing one of the draws. There's no way that they're ever folding a hand like ace queen in that spot. They might fold some of their aces, but we could also get looked up by some of the aces when they put us on one of the missed draws as well. Still at the 100 NL table, we have ace king suited playing from under the gun, and we open to 3x. Folds around to the big blind, who puts in a 3-bet. Crazy 86 has a 3-bet percentage of 30%. Yeah, it's only over a sample size of 88 hands, but that is incredibly high, and the name is fitting with Crazy being in it. So we're putting in a 4-bet here, make it $33 to go. It's only a $20 raise. I would like maybe a little bit bigger of a bet here, but Crazy does that for us, gets the rest of the chips in. It's a pretty loose play with eights. We make the call. It is a coin flip. We don't get there on the flop, we don't get there on the turn, but the river is an ace, and we take down this $200+ pot. Still at the 100 NL table, this time we have ace jack suited playing from under the gun, open to 3x. Folds around to the hijack seat, Pork Taco, who makes a call. The big blind also calls to see a flop. Flop is 9 high, 2-tone, 2 spades out there. We have the nut flush draw and 2 overcards. Mr. Fargo checks. We put in a continuation bet, $6, 2/3 pot, and we get a call from Pork Taco. Mr. Fargo gets out of the way, and the turn is the 8 of spades. We have the nut flush, but there is a small possibility we are up against a 6-7 for a straight flush. I doubt they would be playing a 6-7 suited with an early position raise, but you never know. We are pretty deep stacked, and we see a queen 7 call, so we really can't put that out of Pork Taco's range, especially with a VPIP of 36%. I check with the nut flush, and we get a bet of $3, begging for a call, and we put in a raise here, make it 11 to go, and we get 4-bet. Any hand that is 4-betting in this spot is almost never folding to a 5-bet, so we do 5-bet, get the rest of our chips in there, and we get a call. We're up against queen 7. They do have outs to the 6 of spades, but they miss, and we take down this $203 pot. Once again, at the 100 NL table, we have pocket kings playing from the big blind. Folds around to the cutoff, who opens to 2.5x. Crazy 86, who we got in a hand with just a few hands ago, puts in a 3-bet again, this time with ace deuce. We don't know that yet though, and we are putting in a 4-bet, make it $24.50 to go. This time Crazy jams the rest of their chips in. We are always making a call against this type of player, especially with a hand like pocket kings. And we are in a great spot for a $214 pot. We have to avoid. Flop is king high, two-tone. We have the top set now, and Crazy is drawing dead going into the river, and we take down this pot of $211.50 after the rake was taken out. Now we're up to the 200 NL table. We have pocket aces this time, playing from under the gun +1, open to 3x. We get a call from a recreational player to our left who is playing pretty short stacked right here. We get a call from the small blind and the big blind as well. Flop is ace king king. We have a full house, aces over kings. Flop checks to us. We also check. There's not really any hands that we're worried about right here. If they do have a king and somehow wind up hitting another king on the turn or river, we're okay with that. It happens once in a while. But let's try to induce some bets or let some people catch up on the turn so we can make some more money in this pot. Mr. Perfect 777 bets $2, just a min bet. Big blind calls. We also just call. Slowly building a pot here, and the turn is the deuce of diamonds. Now there's a possibility for some low straights and some flush draws out there. Flop goes check check. We still aren't going to be betting here. Let's let Mr. Perfect continue the bets, and this time he does bet $19, and the big blind calls once again. We're just gonna put in a small raise here, building the pot and trying to pot commit Impala Zorg and setting us up for a river-sized bet that will allow us to get Impala Zorg's entire stack in. Mr. Perfect, however, raises with the trip kings. Impala folds. We make an easy call here, and we have Mr. Perfect drawing only to a king on the river, which does not come, and we take down this $195 pot. Back to the 100 NL table, we have ace king offsuit playing from under the gun +2. Folds us, and we open to 3x. Small blind calls, and we see a flop heads up. Flop is ace high rainbow. We have top pair, top kicker. Runner Lucker leads out for $5, and we just make a call here. That lead out is very interesting. I don't think you would lead out an ace in that spot. Maybe some straight draws and sets. I still don't know if I would lead out a set though. You're gonna fold out a lot of hands that would continuation bet. And now Runner Lucker checks the turn, and we put in a bet of $9 here, and Runner Lucker comes back over the top and 3-bets us. I think we could very easily fold our hand here. It is most likely either going to be a straight or a set that we're up against. But I am now looking at Runner Lucker's stats and see that when he does 3-bet the turn, he only wins 25% of showdowns over a large sample size of 15,000 hands. So maybe he's making this play with a lot of the draws that could be out there. This is one time where the stats look like they're not going to work in our favor, and I do make the call most likely because of that stat I just read. And now the flush got there as well. Runner Lucker gets the rest of their chips in, and with our turn call, we pretty much pot committed ourselves. We only have 75 and change in an $87 pot, less than 1 stack to pot ratio. So we do make the call. We have one of the blockers with the king of clubs there, but I do think a mistake was made on the turn call of the 3-bet, and I think this is a pretty easy fold when we do get 3-bet on the turn. I unfortunately did not make it, but at least we can go back, look at what we did, and improve our game for next time. And now we are looking at 9-10 suited at the 200 NL table. Folds us, and we open to 3x from the cutoff. We get 3-bet by the button. Vegetables Aren't Yummy has a wide 3-bet percentage from the button, and we've seen them make this play a lot of times with hands just like what they have. And if they do have a big hand in this spot, 9-10 plays well against those big hands, the premium type hands. I don't mind just making a call here, but I elect to put in a 4-bet in this spot, and against the regular player, I do like this play. We tend to 4-bets mostly just premium hands, and any competent thinking player would realize this and might fold out hands like this 5-6, but we gave him really good odds to make a call here. It's only $26 into a pot of 67, and we still have a lot of chips left in our stack. This bet sizing isn't very conducive to trying to get hands like this to fold out, which is exactly what happens. We get a call, and there is already $93 in the pot, and that is a pretty terrible flop, even though we do have outs to a 7 for the nuts, and we have 2 cards over the board. We are already pot committed, having less than 2-to-1 stack to pot ratio. I check on the flop. Vegetables bets $30, only a third of the pot, and I put in the check raise here. This was an interesting play. Maybe we can get some folds, but Vegetables is already pot committed. I don't see him folding too many hands here, except something like ace king, ace queen maybe, which is going to be some of their range, but only a small percentage. I think any pair over the board isn't going to be folding in this spot. I don't really like that raise, but let's see how it plays out. We do get a call from bottom 2 pair. Did not see that coming, but we did price him in pre-flop. Definitely a mistake there. We do hit a 10 on the turn, giving us outs to now another 10 or a 9, as well as the 7. 27% to win going into the river, but we miss with the jack on the river, and we lose this $417 pot. That one hurts. But this was an interesting hand, a very big pot with some suited connectors by both of us. Where do you guys think a mistake was made? There could be multiple mistakes within this hand. I think one was right here. That's way too small of a raise. That might be the bet sizing we would make with something like pocket kings or pocket aces, trying to get this player to stick around, but this type of hand plays really well against pocket aces or pocket kings, and we don't want to give him the price to be calling with a hand like this. I think a better bet sizing would have been something like $60, or just calling the 3-bet right here and seeing a flop, even though we are out of position. There also could be a mistake right here in this hand when we elect to jam the rest of our stack in. Let me know what you guys think though down below in the comments section. Let's try to work plays like this out of our games, increasing our win rates and not giving away $200+ where we either have to hit a gut shot or running cards. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you have not done that yet. Head down to the video description for links to all the poker products that I use and recommend, including Hold'em Manager, which we are reviewing our session on today, and America's Card Room, where I do all of my poker playing. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something today. There were some very interesting hands within this session. Hands I think we can learn from and improve our game for sure. Looking forward to those comments down below, and I will be back soon with a new video. But until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.